This title is narrated with virtual voice, computer-generated narration for audiobooks. My Off-Limits Bad Boy by H.J. Floris. Chapter 1. Scarlet. Life isn't the fairy tale I once naively thought it would be. I quickly placed a call to Phyllis Barlow, my editor who'd been with me through thick and thin, and who'd made sure I didn't lose my mind before churning out the romance of the summer. It has been a long year, with the news of my parents' divorce hitting me and getting dumped by Ethan that same week. Well, I wasn't exactly dumped because I broke up with him, but heck, it felt that way. Phyllis answered the phone on the third ring. "Please tell me you've gotten your things back, and you're home now," Phyllis spoke out from the speakerphone, her voice filled with exasperation. I can't face him, I just can't." I tapped the steering wheel nervously and looked over at the white apartment building in front of me that I'd called home for the last 5 years. Ethan's place. I'm parked in front of his apartment, but I think I'll just call him and tell him to keep the things or to mail them to me. Anything but this. At that moment, the apartment stood as a silent witness to the chapter of my life that had closed. We'd shared so many firsts in that apartment, and now I needed strength to sever the final ties, but I didn't know how to. Phyllis sighed. "It's been 3 months, Scarlet. And you told me you'd find the words again once you can tie loose ends. Your relationship with Ethan is a loose end that needs to be tied, and getting your things back from him is a step in that direction." There was silence from the other end of the line for a little bit, and my eyes shifted from the apartment building to the rearview mirror, catching a glimpse of my reflection, a reminder of the woman I used to be, the writer who thrived on love and whose words were fueled by it. Phyllis's voice nudged me back to the present. "The publishers need the book by the end of summer, Scarlet. I know you're going through a lot, but you've had a year already. We can't ask for any more time. The world is waiting for your next masterpiece." I sucked in breath as Phyllis remained on the line. I yanked down the driving mirror and attempted to make the bird's nest on my head look as presentable as possible, but nothing was helping. I assessed my reflection in the mirror and looked at the weeks-old eye bags from lack of sleep and the pasty white of my skin from barely leaving the house. It was a visual manifestation of my internal struggle, a reflection of the chaos within me. The mirror held no mercy, showcasing the toll the few weeks had taken on me. I felt broken, and I feared Ethan would see right through me. Perhaps he'd mockingly share a laugh about my appearance with the latest college student he was fucking at the back of his Subaru. "Fuck," I said under my breath, running my trembling fingers through my tangled velvet black hair. "I can't do this." The news that Mom had given me, because she was great at delivering bad news, had come as a shock to me. My parents' marriage and relationship were what I'd always aspired to have. It was the gold standard to me. I've dedicated a huge part of my published novels to them, and have thanked them in numerous panels and interviews for being my inspiration when it comes to love and romance. The revelation that their seemingly idyllic marriage was a facade, a beautifully packaged lie, left me shattered and struggling to grasp the reality. My world, built on the foundation of their love, began to quake and crumble. They had presented such a picture of love, one that most people had deemed unrealistic. A love that I'd fed to my readers. The fact that they'd stayed in the marriage for all those years because of me, and not because they loved each other, was the final straw. And then, breaking up with Ethan had come close behind. I'd caught him getting a handy from one of his students at the back of his car. That was the same day I'd searched through his browser history, because he'd been behaving weirdly, to see that he'd been searching for engagement rings. The heartbreak had been a punch to the guts, because
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.